Where is the manual? I'm Jessy.
And I'm Nadiah, and welcome to episode 2, or known as
Chapter 2, as we try to uncover and discover parenting hacks and
the joys and perils of family life and parenting.
Yeah, let's do it again. Hey then, welcome to
Where's the Manual?
Your parenting playbook. I'm Jessy Chahal.
And I'm Nadiah, and welcome to episode 2, or better known as
Chapter 2 of the parenting playbook. We try to uncover and discover some parenting hacks as we navigate through this.
the joys and perils of parenting.
That's right. This universe of parenthood. Some have it easier than the others. It is challenging.
Yes,
The
it is.
word that you used earlier. But this program is aimed at helping you and us to find out just ways or better ways that we can communicate with our children, be better parents, be more exciting parents,
Find interesting hacks
responsible.
and make memories in the process.
Absolutely. Janji, at the end of the day, we're all happy, one happy family. So the MCO has been a trying time, especially if the kids are cooped up at home.
I know, I think you're talking about being a can of Coke and shaking it really hard, and the kids have been struggling at home. And of course, a lot of families are welcoming the fact that school's in.
That's right. But this is the big question we're posting today. Go or no go? Many parents are still a little bit afraid
undecided.
of what's
I'm
out
into
there.
mine.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel that, hey, school's in, kids go to school. Obviously, it's not the most likable choice. Everyone's sort of frowning at me right now, but I'm thinking if SOPs are in place, then we need to start to get back to some kind of norm.
But Jesse, I'm on the other side of the coin. On the one hand, I am excited that school's in. I understand it's important for the kids, but I'm not so sure about how children are going to be able to maintain social distancing, understanding the dangers and risks that are involved. So today we've got someone really exciting to be able to at least share with us her thoughts. She's a mother of 4.
That's right. She's beautiful, she's successful, and oh, hats off. She's running the house with 4 kiddos. Let's bring on our guest this week, Datin Azrene Ahmad.
Who is a certified image master and the founder of 3 Little Ahmads.
That's right. Welcome in. So much for joining us. It's been quite a feat getting all of us in this one frame. There was a heavy rain, then
Thunderstorm,
connection problems, and then obviously being moms, we've all got our hands full. Where are you joining us from right now, Datin?
I'm actually hiding in a storeroom right now. So
That sounds about right. I think every parent will have that, at least that one moment when you're hiding in the storeroom saying, please don't find me.
I know I don't have a storeroom at home to run to, but there are days where I wish I could just hide out there and just be on my phone for like 5 uninterrupted minutes. So I think, what's it like having 4 kids, some of whom are going back to school?
well, I have 3 boys and 1 girl. 3 of them are of schooling age, and the younger one is still 2 years and 8 months. So basically, when before MCO started, they were in school, and then about two weeks after I returned from London, I knew that the MCO, the COVID cases were going to start hitting all across the globe. And that it was only a matter of time that it would come to Malaysia, because even my flight from London was filled with passengers from China that were en route back from London. So my husband and I took the conscious decision to actually just self-quarantine our family at home. And we took them out from school. And of course, as a result of that, our MCO actually started way before Malaysia's MCO started. So we had a month or 2, 3.5 months of MCO. So of course, when you're stuck home, no matter what you do as a parent to keep kids occupied after online school with all the activities, the children, they're pre-programmed to be social creatures. That's how they learn. And so being away from their friends wasn't a good thing for them in the end, because they just needed that social interaction, not just with their own siblings or with their cousins, but or even with their friends online, but they
Right.
needed that physical interaction. And so they were actually begging us to go to school. When can we go to school? When can we go to school? So when the government decided to actually start schooling, my husband and I said, no, we're not sending you. We trust the school and their SOPs. We do not trust the parents and their kids. And of course, the boys begged and begged and begged. And so in the end, we capitulated and we said, no, we just got to just tawakal and just pray to God and hope that they're safe. Send them off to school with sanitizers and masks and hope for the best. And so they're in school now. They started on the 15th, the two older ones. And my third just started on Monday because the school put them back in waves. So.
Right. So there's this concern as well that it's not just, in the classroom, because although schools are trying very much to practice
social
strict
distancing,
SOP,
SOPs. But I mean, the challenge, I mean, Jessy and I were talking about the fact that how do you help children to understand not only the imperativeness of keeping distance, but the understanding of how high the risk is and the chances of contracting the virus if you are with friends or if you're not being careful.
Because as you said, they are social creatures, and really, let's all be realistic. In a school setting, when you're with your friends or when you're learning, social distancing is rather difficult, especially if you're talking about younger kids as well.
Yeah. I think the two older ones, well, the three older ones are quite good. We started from the very beginning to say, teach them about their sanitization and being sanitary and how to actually wash their hands, stop touching their faces, stop touching their noses, especially because all three of them suffer from sinus. So it's a very difficult thing to do. So we used that time during MCO to actually put that into practice. And they're very good. And children that age from 12 until about 7, not only do they listen to what their parents are saying during conversations, even though they don't interject, but they have YouTube, they have Instagram, they have TikTok. So they learn from there that it's actually a very, very dangerous virus and it's actually highly contagious. And so then began the conversation about what is contagious, what is low contagion, what is high risk contagiousness and stuff like that. And so they do forget sometimes because they are like their parents, which is we're huggers and we can't hug people suddenly. So they do forget at times, but then when they do remember, they stop themselves and they say, oh, I hope you don't mind if I don't touch you or if I'm not near you. And then came the whole situation when they were in school. The first few days, they found it weird that there were all these little square boxes marked and 1 meter away and all those things, but they adjusted.
So, what would your message be to other parents out there who are so undecided? Many parents, friends I know as well, have said, no way, they're not going to school at all. I'll even wait it out till the end of the year. On the other hand, I personally feel, and although those are not my children, I feel that it's a bit too long, as you pointed out. It's been 3.5 months, and they need to go back to school. And homeschooling or learning at home when the parent and teacher and the student themselves are not used to that kind of setting is rather impossible, really, if you ask me, with attention spans and all of that. And once again, I speak for younger children. So what would you say, Datin, to parents out there who are sort of to go or not to go, and what can they make out of all of this?
I think it's really, it's up to the parents, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with human lives, and we're not just dealing with any human. We're dealing with our mini humans that we carried for 9 months. We gave birth to, and we nursed and we nurtured. So naturally, any parent will be concerned. So the first thing that they need to do is actually speak to the school and make sure that the school's SOPs are intact and they are actually, even in no SOP is going to be foolproof, but at least it's complete. So we made sure that the school that the kids went to, their SOPs were absolutely brilliant in terms of picking up and dropping off kids with QR codes. If you don't have QR codes in your car is not going to be allowed. who are the people that are going to be picking the kids up, dropping them off. Um, the kids are actually going to be, taken from the car directly to the teachers. All sorts of SOPs in place. When you're in class, what's the distance like, how many kids are in the class. So make sure those are all there, even right down to food. um, whether you're allowed to bring food from home, and if that's food from
Yeah.
home, check whether it's dry food or it's wet food. Check with the cafeteria if they're going to be supplying food, who's going to be picking those up from the cafeteria and being brought directly to the kids in class. In terms of masks, how many masks are you supposed to bring to school? Do you need a bag? Because we do know that once you take off the mask, you have to put it in a secure place. You can't just leave it hanging around your neck or wherever. Things like that need to be in place. And if those good SOPs are in place, then I think you can trust your kids to go to school, but still have it at the back of your mind that there's still that danger. If, for example, a photo is taken and it's put in the parent and teachers group that some kids are wearing masks, some kids are not, take them out of school. And
It
if you're
happens a lot. We've been seeing a lot of that. I remember the
yeah,
first day of school, and the teacher in my son's school was sending, "Hey, here's a photo of all of you in class." And the
yeah,
first thing that the parents said in the chat group was, "Where's the masks?"
where's the
They
mask?
all left within half a day.
Yeah, I freaked out. So I was like, "Where are your masks? Everybody was supposed to wear." So I think it's also a case of, like I said, I don't trust the parents and the kids. It's not the school that I don't trust. So if you know that during school holidays, some of the children have gone off to places and clusters have been found in those places, then you need to make sure that you, as the parent of that child, you do the responsible thing. You inform the school, you take your kid out of school, and you let the school inform the other parents so that they know what to do. If you need to close your school, then close your school down. Because we all
Right.
have
I
to be
think I think that's such a great point to take responsibility
Exactly.
yeah,
and to make those reports and to make sure that your kids and us ourselves as parents are taking care of ourselves and doing the right thing.
Exactly.
yeah,
So, I think that's a great point and perhaps one of the best
yes,
takeaways for all parents nationwide watching.
Definitely something to
absolutely,
reiterate, because when it wasn't COVID-19 season, you're talking about parents who very often said, "Oh, my kid's just having a small bout of flu. He's not really that sick. It's okay, sending him to school." This is not the time to do that. Definitely
no,
not the safest thing to do. And really being responsible of your own youngling is an important thing to do, because you're not
correct,
only protecting your child, but everybody else in the class.
correct. And
Absolutely.
a lot of kids are actually, they don't actually display those symptoms. COVID, for some reason, works differently for kids. So most of
Yes.
them, I think about 75% or so, are actually asymptomatic. So if you go somewhere where there's a cluster, or you go somewhere where it's very, very public, like even if you go to KLCC, for example, I'm not saying that KLCC is a
Yes.
cluster, but someone could have visited that place and not have known. And then your child is actually a carrier, and that child is asymptomatic. So if you do go to a public place, and the child then has to go back to school, just take the test. It only takes 2 days for you to get a result, and then send the kid back to school if it's a negative. Just be responsible, take responsibility. And there's no shame at all, because some places it can happen to anyone, no matter how careful you
And I think there, right there, is the new norm for us and for the kids as well. We really need to start to look at it that way and not hoping and wishing for when things will go back to normal, because
Definitely.
it has really changed how we take care of the kids and how they now need to take care of themselves as well as they go out into the big bad
are.
world.
I think moving forward, whether or not we're going to go into an extended RNCO after what has recently happened with the numbers increasing once again, hopefully
Yes,
everybody makes sure that they listen to the SOPs from the government. Raya Haji is just around the corner, and hopefully everybody behaves and does what they're supposed to do. Then we'll be able to have children, we'll be able to go to school right until the end of the year and have a good
And some freedom and space for mom and dad at home. I don't know how you've been in the past 3.5 months. I was about losing my mind.
yeah, I lost my mind because I am not a qualified teacher. I am not a qualified dinner lady. My fridge is not certified to be opened every 5 minutes.
newfound respect for educators, the canteen lady, the school cleaner, your
Exactly.
janitor, even the lollipop man, right? All the
Yeah,
managers to control traffic when kids are all over the place. So again, today the other thing I've learned from Latif Azrene is if you need a quiet space, the closet. There is
Closet
no harm
with a
and no
clothes
shame
room.
in running to the closet.
That's
Yeah.
right. Moms, dads out there, no harm, no shame to take your time out to say it as it is, to complain. That doesn't mean we don't love our children,
Yeah.
right? Datin, that's all the time we have on this very short program. Thank you so
Okay.
much for being with us. Such a
Thank
pleasure
you.
speaking to you today.
Stay
Thank
safe
you
and
for
hope all your
having
children
me.
are safe too.
Love to the
Good
family.
day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Right, so that was our quick discussion with Datin Azrene Ahmad. She's fabulous.
I know, and she brought up a very, very important point. I can't stress how important it is to make sure that if your child is just having the slightest of sniffles, even if it's asymptomatic,
Right.
please choose to stay home.
Absolutely. So, as parents need to adjust and make these changes as well, we need to take more responsibility. We need to adapt better to the situation we have at hand. There's so many different schools of thought. You speak to your own parents, if you have grandparents, they'll have something to say. You speak to your siblings or your extended friends, they'll have something to say. So you have to make that decision for yourself. And for me, personally, I think it's a chance you have to take to a certain extent.
And then send the child on a prayer.
Yeah,
To hope
that's
that
right.
everything is okay. But we do want to hear from you because when we come back next week, we do want to hear all about what you have to say, what has worked for you.
That's right.
Whether you decided to keep your child at home or whether they're all in school. So share your comments and your feedback and your thoughts. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Keep them coming. We will be, in fact, in the chat box below. We'll be talking to you. We'd love to hear your ideas, your tips, your rants, everything and anything as we try together to put together a manual. If not, we'll still be searching for where's the manual.
That's right. So until we hear from you next week,
Take
stay
care.
safe and have a good day. Bye.
Happy parenting. Bye.
La, la, la.